Welcome agents. In today's news video, recently a new loot exploit or loot cave has been found, which I want to show you and talk about. I've got 5 Dark Hours Apparel event keys to give away throughout this entire video, and I want to show you my updated raid build. Now if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below, subscribe for dedicated Division content, and turn on notifications to never miss a video. With that said, let's get into it. Okay, so first up there's a new loot cave or loot exploit that's been found in the mission bank headquarters, and it's very easy to use. Now credit goes to Inogo Montoya, who I believe was the first person to find this, or at least the first person to post a video about it. So what you want to do is head over to the bank headquarters mission. Now as you progress through the mission, you'll go through the vault and you'll see this storage sign and door. The NPCs will come out of the door, so what you want to do is have probably a group of 3 or 4 people. Really you'd want 4 people because you get the maximum benefit. Now one person will go and activate the sequence, and then the NPCs will continuously spawn out of the door. So what is best to do is throw down some fire turrets to keep them in the room. You'll have 2 minutes because there'll be a 2-minute timer once you click the button in the main tower. And in those 2 minutes, basically you want to kill as many NPCs as possible. Now once you've done that, and the 2 minutes are basically up, because they all just keep spawning forever, basically. Once those 2 minutes are up, you would just want to kill yourself either by ads or killing yourself with a concussion grenade, for example. And once you've done that, you're all going to be respawned back in the button room at the top, where you can restock ammo, basically, and you can just do it again and just keep repeating that process. Now it's a very effective method to get in high-end field proficiency caches and purple gear, and purple gear is still quite important because it rolls very high rolls. Now I'd recommend putting on some increased kill XP mods to help you get even more caches. It's actually times like these I wish we had the accomplished knee pads from the Division. It would work very well here. Now this loot cave or farm is very effective, and with such a low chance of getting the gear you want in this game, this will be your best opportunity to get a lot of gear in a very short period of time. Now this does bring me back to Destiny 2 when loot caves were very common. I remember using them quite a lot. They were a lot of fun. Now of course these are not intentional, and I'm pretty sure the devs will nerf this as soon as possible, really, along with the armor glitch, which is ruining normalized game modes. Now it's sad to see these things cropping up, of course, at least the armor glitch anyway. The loot cave isn't so bad because it doesn't actually affect anyone else's experience, if that makes sense. Now since I made my video yesterday talking about the armor glitch, I've seen it being used more widely than I had imagined. Almost every time I go into the normalized DZ, someone is using it and abusing it, and it's actually just a real shame because I felt like the DZ has been a lot more populated and fun since the update, and this is kind of just pushing those players away. Just to give you a sort of quick update on this problem, this armor glitch problem. As of this video, I've seen no response from any of the devs about this issue, which actually comes as a bit of a surprise because a lot of the devs are still tweeting, even, you know, people are obviously leaving reports, people are spamming them on Twitter or whatever, and they're just not saying anything. Now, if they are working on a fix, which I'm pretty sure they are, communication of this fact is key, is paramount. Now, I'd hope that by the time this video goes live, we'd have some sort of response from any dev about the issue, and more importantly, when can we expect a fix for this and the loot cave? Now, the Division 2 cannot afford this kind of bad publicity, and they certainly cannot afford for players to abandon the game. And a lot of people I've seen who've been going into the Dark Zone or Conflict are simply just not going into those modes anymore. And for a lot of these people, this is what they play the game for. They're in it for PvP, ultimately. So if they're not playing Dark Zone or they're not playing Conflict, they're not playing the game at all, and that's not what the devs need. So they really need to communicate when this is going to be fixed so that we know when it's going to be done. Hopefully it'll be as soon as possible. I reckon it's probably going to be Thursday's maintenance is my guess. Moving on to a more positive note, I've got 5 apparel event codes, the Dark Hours Apparel event, which is currently going on in-game to give away in this video. Now there's no requirement to enter, you simply just have to keep watching the video, and I will sporadically put the codes out in the video. Here's the first one. So the first one to, you know, get this down and put it in gets it, basically. I thought it'd be best to do this way around as opposed to liking the video, subscribing, following me on Twitter, following me on every social media in the world. I mean, all of that stuff would be great, and I'd encourage you to do that anyway, but it's not a requirement. So yeah, just stick around for the video, guys, and then, you know, they will be sporadically put out. The apparel event itself features 40 new apparel items to collect, which includes, you know, 5 new outfits, 1 new uniform, 2 exclusive masks, 4 new emotes, and 8 weapon skins. Personally, I love the masks the most. I think they're really, really cool. I have the ballistic masks. I don't actually have the other mask. I can't remember what the name of that one's called. And the only other thing that I really, really love, and something I don't have yet, is the kind of X-Men glasses, the red glasses. And I can't remember, I've talked about this before, and I can't remember who it is in the X-Men. It's the guy that shoots out the red beams out of his eyes. It's a really bad description, sorry, but those glasses, they just look really, really cool. So if any of you guys get these codes and you get what's in them, let me know in the comments what you get. That'll be excellent. Next up, and a quick update on the raid completion time records for console. Now, this is actually sitting at 32 minutes currently, and completed by fellow Division content creator Nothing But Skills and his team. For PC, the raid completion time record is now 15 minutes and 46 seconds, completed by the War Legend team. Now, I believe they are the first team to get a time under 16 minutes, but I don't expect this to be a record for too long because people are just smashing these records left, right and centre. I expect the POG team will probably do a better time than that, and it'll just keep going down and down and down. It's just crazy how fast these raid times have fallen since it came out, but it doesn't actually come as a surprise when the raid itself is just a DPS check and offers very little in the way of mechanics or kind of build diversity at least. Last but not least, and I've not played through the raid since day one because I just haven't had the gear all the time, to be quite frank. Now I'm almost there, and I think today I wanted to show you my raid build. I'd appreciate some constructive feedback in the comments. Is it perfect? No. But my building skills are not the best in the world. As you guys know, I don't know everything about build, and nor does anyone, ultimately. I just think that everyone has their own playstyles or that sort of thing. And I appreciate that the raid itself is just about doing as much damage as possible, which is kind of what this build is going. But I'd still appreciate your feedback on this build, guys. It's not completed as I said, and we're going to get right into it now. Okay, so quick update on my raid build here, guys. So we got the Guard mask. We're using 3 pieces of this on this build. We've got damage to elites modified, we've got hazard protection, we've got the hard hitting talent giving us 10% damage to elites. I wish my damage to elites on this was higher, but you can get up to about 40, I think you can get up to 51% on high-end gear, but I've not got anywhere near that. I do like the fact this has 26% hazard protection as an attribute, plus we're using 2-piece Guard, which gives us an extra 20%. Meaning we get 46% hazard protection, which is very, very important for the raid. And then we got a utility protocol mod slot, but that's not really important. The chest piece, we've gone with Fenris. We've got 6% weapon damage, 10% headshot damage, 5,000 armor, and then we got Berserk and we got Vital. I think Berserk is still a very, very strong talent. Certainly on console, where you find a lot of the time you lose a lot of armor generally in this raid anyway, so you're always going to find that Berserk is proccing most of the time. If I could roll away Vital, I probably would and just put on, again, hard hitting for the extra 10% damage to elites, but having a little bit of extra health does help. What's important here are the attributes. 6% weapon damage, 10% headshot damage are very, very important. Weapon damage could be a lot higher, headshot damage could also be a lot higher, and the armor could also be a lot higher, but this is the rolls I've currently got. And again, we've got a utility mod for here. Now onto the holster here, we've gone with Douglas and Harden. Although, again, it's just because it's got Devastating on. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using this piece. I'd probably use something like Ariel Holder, or I may even use something else. I've not really looked into it. If I could use Fenris, I probably would. But the only problem with Fenris, it doesn't have a mod slot. Which, yeah, don't know. But that protection from elites mod slot, it's up to you. That protection from elites isn't going to give you a whole lot. But so maybe Ariel Holder Holdings, which is actually really strong on console. 10% accuracy does help out a lot, certainly when using something like an LMG or even an assault rifle, basically. But we got DNH here, and what's important again is that we got Devastating, giving 5% weapon damage. You could put on Precise with 15% headshot damage, but again, on console, you're not going to be hitting headshots consistently, really. And also, when you're coming up against like the Robo Dogs and stuff, it's going to do nothing, whereas Devastating will. Moving on to the backpack, we've gone with Guard backpack again. This has got health, armor, and weapon damage, and then we've got hard hitting and skilled. Again, there are better backpacks than this, definitely. I wanted to find a way to include on the ropes. You could run something like a 377 or a 577, sorry, for on the ropes, but then you wouldn't be able to proc Berserk, I don't believe. So it's really up to you, but for me, what was important, weapon damage. That's really the important thing here, is having that weapon damage, having that hard hitting, basically as much damage as possible. The health and armor could, of course, be higher, and Gilligard again is strong because you get the 2 mod slots on Gilligard, giving us that armor. We got defensive and we've got an offensive on here as well. I think on the offensive on this one, I think we've got plus 4% weapon assault rifle damage, which is good because we've also got the weapon damage giving us 5% effectively. Glove-wise, we've got Murakami Industries giving us that 8% health. We've got assault rifle damage on here, and we've got devastating with that extra weapon damage. Again, would I still use? If I could change it, I probably would have Arialda on here as well, because you'd have 2 pieces, one here and one here, and that would give you an extra 10% headshot damage as well. But this is what I have for now. And then lastly, the Gilligard knee pads with armor and damage to elites. And what's great about these knee pads with all Gilligard knee pads is the 2 mod slots, which I've got health and armor. Basically here we've got 5% health regen, we got armor regeneration, which I believe, and I'm not correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but I believe armor regeneration is actually bugged and it doesn't actually work, but I could be wrong about that. And moving on to the weapons, we're using the custom P416G3, base damage 22k because of this build. We've got Optimus on here, which unfortunately I can't use, and I'm actually going to be swapping this out for Ranger because I think it's probably better at the moment. Optimus is very strong, but I didn't want to go down to just the 5 for the requirements here, although it could still be really strong. I may consider using that. If you guys think running something like 577 or 575 or whatever is stronger, then let me know, because I just don't know. I've got stability on here. Again, console is important. I think on console, running something like stability rather than rate of fire is probably a good idea. At least for me, well, you know, because I can't aim because I'm an absolute noob. And then we've got damage to elites on the sight here. We've got accuracy for the grip, damage to elites on the muzzle brake, and then we've got the plus 10% rounds. Unfortunately, I don't have the other mag size, which appears to be in the loophole, but appears to be can't get it effectively, giving the extra 20 rounds, but minus 10% damage to elites. I think it's the tactical 556 or something like that. I can't remember. Second weapon is a chatterbox. I've actually only just got this as of me making this video, like 2 minutes before. And I kind of don't know whether I would go with this or the Nemesis, because Nemesis gives you 25% headshot damage. So at least in the first encounter against Boomer, I'd probably run this. The second encounter, I'd probably run this as well. In the third encounter, you might want to run Chatterbox. And then in the fourth encounter, the last one, you may want to run Chatterbox as well. But that extra 20% rate of fire on console when you're shooting stuff at distance, it's just stupid. So I don't know. I think most of the time I'm probably going to run Nemesis. But with that said, when you're in sticky situations, you haven't got a lot of ammo, having someone like Chatterbox as a backup is important. So it's kind of a toss-up. I don't know which one to use. I usually use Nemesis in most activities, but I'm going to try out Chatterbox because, again, I've never used it before because I just haven't really tried to get it, although everyone appears to use it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the last one here. I've just got the extra 10% bonus armor while reloading. And apart from that, that's really the build. If I just go over to the quick stats here, some of the stuff isn't activated. Again, guys, you've already seen what I've got. 65% headshot damage, pretty low. Accuracy and stability on there. All weapon damage bonus is 23.5%. Assault rifle damage bonus, 36%. Damage to elite, 73%. Again, that could be higher. Health damage, 29%. Oh, I forgot to say. So, on console, most people would run an LMG. I've got an LMG build myself, this M60. Which has got unhinged. Again, really, really strong. But I am finding the assault rifles are very good because they're very good against red bar enemies because of that health damage. So it's up to you, really. I just think that, you know, assault rifles are still very strong. It's up to you. It's a toss-up between these two. I'm going with a custom P416 for at least my next attempt on the raid, which should be soon. And having watched loads of videos about it, I'm pretty clued up on how to do it. It's just whether I can execute. But anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this one. I have got another video coming up shortly following State of the Game. It'll probably be at the end of the week. Basically, the video is about what content creators think about the Division 2. I've got a couple of content creators to give me their opinions, and that'll be included in the video, including, who have we got? We've got Raw Talents, I've got Craig G, I've got Easy TV, a couple of people, and they're just going to give you their opinions, basically, and talk about the Division 2. And I think you guys would really enjoy it, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, until the next one, Epic out.